We count on them to keep schools safe for children. That's why security guards are required to have clean criminal backgrounds. But a Channel 4 Action News investigation uncovers a felon and a former sex offender working in schools with kids. Good evening, Pittsburgh. I'm Wendy Bell.
And I'm Mike Clark. Channel 4 Action News investigative reporter Jim Parsons has been digging into this. He joins us live in the newsroom with what else he discovered. Jim?
And Mike and Wendy, all across southwestern Pennsylvania, a growing number of school districts are starting to use private contractors to provide security inside schools. But it is still the responsibility of those school districts to make sure that the guards have clean criminal records. Our investigation found two who did not. With 5 felony convictions on his record, 4 of them since 2005, Noble Ramsey should never have been hired as a security guard. State law forbids it. But Pond Security of Allison Park hired Ramsey last fall. Then they placed him inside Highlands Middle School in Natrona Heights one day last November.
It's not safe. There's a reason these people aren't allowed to work there.
Eric Colamarino was a supervisor at Pond Security until he resigned 2 months ago. He says he told company CEO Kelly Sieber he was concerned about Ramsey's criminal record.
The day I resigned, I did go straight to her. And after the fact, I resigned. She actually promoted him to a supervisor, which he was then in a lot of schools afterwards.
One of the schools Ramsey visited to supervise other Pond security guards was Mars Middle School and High School.
It's a big concern to me.
Nathan Pierce still works at Mars Schools as a security guard for Pond.
I worked at Mars, so I saw him at Mars High School.
You saw him inside Mars High School?
Yes, I did.
So he was in direct contact with school children?
Yes.
Sieber, the Pond CEO, refused our request for an on-camera interview, but off-camera, she disputed knowing anything about Noble Ramsey's criminal record until January 3rd, 5 months after he was hired. And when she found out about it, she says she fired him. Sieber blames a former Pond manager for hiring Ramsey despite his criminal record. Is there any good reason that a company could give for putting a convicted felon inside of a school with kids?
Well, you said they didn't know. That's a policy that should be changed.
John Cook is a retired Pennsylvania state trooper and currently director of security at Montour High School.
The senior officers in that company should know everything that's going on, no matter how many employees they have. I don't care if it's 200.
Sieber says she also didn't know her staff directed Dennis Claypool to work at several schools. Claypool says he was surprised Pond Security hired him in 2010 because of his record.
Really, they never told me. I asked them, okay, if it was going to be a problem.
Claypool was charged as a juvenile with involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, and he was adjudicated as delinquent. The state rejected his application for child line clearance, prohibiting him from working at schools, and yet Pond Security sent him to work at Dassa McKinney Elementary in Montauk School District as well as Grove City High School. Again, Kelly Sieber said she didn't know Claypool was working in schools. Pond Security does provide guards to locations other than schools. Claypool was fired last summer for tardiness. John Cook, the retired state trooper, says there's good reason why the law prohibits former sex offenders and drug dealers from working in schools.
Well, the worst case scenario would be something like that would come about in the school where he makes some type of an advance toward a student or even a faculty member. That's the problem.
Now, because of our investigation, Grove City School District Superintendent tells us they won't be using Pond Security anymore this school year. Mars School District tells us they had no idea that somebody with felony convictions was inside of their schools. Highland School District said they can't comment or won't comment on Pond Security employees, and Montauk School Superintendent did not return our repeated requests for comment on this story. In the newsroom, Jim Parsons, Channel 4 Action News.